All right. Hello, everyone. I love
Hi.
that the chit chat is ongoing and you guys are creating and sharing and learning from each other. And it's been fun to just watch the participant names pop up here. We've gone from 20 to 30 in the past 2 minutes. So I'm so excited to be joining you for our very last session of the 10th anniversary party. It's amazing that we made it to 10 years, and then amazing that we could make something go for an entire weekend and have so much fun in the process. And I couldn't have done it without all of you showing up to attend, and for all of our guest hosts who made sure that we had sessions throughout the day and throughout the night to make sure there was always something fun to talk about. So what I want to do for this final session is, first, I actually want to go through and share all of the Simple Scrapper logos over the past 10 years. So I went through all my files and dug out as many as I could find, and it's kind of hilarious in the fact that I feel like I spent way more time on graphics 5 to 10 years ago than I did recently. I'm like, wow, I remember taking a really long time. But things have changed so much. The things that we can do on websites is so much more powerful than it was back then, and we had to do so much with graphics in Photoshop back in that time. So we'll start off with that, and then we will jump into our giveaway tonight or this evening. I'm not sure what to call 4 o'clock. Giving away a story starter kit from Stacy Julian for her Story by Stacy line with Close to My Heart, so I'm excited about that. And then I have some kind of journaling and conversation prompts. Those of you who've been around for a while here, some of these are going to feel a little bit familiar, and these are also things that are probably going to end up going into our new 2019 workbook. The working title for this right now is the 2019 Scrapbook Your Way Workbook. And this is going to come out mid-December. And those of you, there's 10 ladies who are coming to an in-person retreat at the beginning of December. They'll be the first to see this. They're going to have a printed copy there, and then we'll release it to the public right after that. But yeah, this is just kind of a preview. We've got 4 questions here to help you really start to feel prepared for 2019 and how you want to scrapbook, and how we at Simple Scrapper encourage you to look at your time and the suite of activities that you're planning on doing next year so that it stays fun and that everything that you start you can finish with ease. And then finally, I have a couple things gathered for one more layout. I'm actually going to do a 12 by 12 layout. I've got this piece of cardstock that appears to be pale pink. It's kind of, pale pink is out of my comfort zone in terms of cardstock that I probably go. You guys will never see me using a brightly colored cardstock. It's hard for me. But I also talked in my earlier session about how I wanted to dig into my scrap drawer. So I actually had this little pouch here of some cards that, these are 4x4, right? These are 4x4s that I had cut out to do a mini album. This is that kind of retrospective album that I did at the end of last year, and I was doing it in a group, and so I'd cut a ton of paper to have. So I'm going to dig into this stack to do some sort of grid here, I think, and then build a bunch of embellishments on top of that. And I think I'm going to I didn't print a photo. I'm actually going to go through, I have a folder of photos I've printed yet not scrapped. I'm going to go through and kind of see what I can find in there to do this page. And that's how I think we're going to spend our time. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts or anything as we go into this last segment? If you're watching this recording or you're watching live and you've not checked out the anniversary party website, that's where we are posting recordings of every single session. So we've worked really hard to make sure that we have a recording for each different session, so you can pop in, catch up. I know sometimes you're going to want to talk, and then we're not going to be there because it is a recording, but hopefully you can attend one of our live crops on Zoom sometime in the future. We do this at least once a month in the membership, and often much, much more, in part because we have folks like Carol Ann who love to host crop times for our members. And I love this format, and I know you guys love this format because I love seeing all of your faces, and it just makes it so fun and so much of an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit better and talk as real people, not just as, you know, words floating by on the computer. All right, who wants to see some crazy logos? So Fran said she wants to thank whoever suggested Trello. I think I'll be able to complete some pages by adding page ideas. We've got a great tutorial inside of the membership on how to use Trello to organize your scrapbooking ideas. Sheena says, this has been awesome, so much great content. I love that I can go back and watch the ones I missed during the celebration. I find that I end up going back and watching these just as I'm creating, because it helps me feel, you know, less alone, even though I know that you guys aren't there live anymore. So it's super fun. I'm also very excited that my voice made it through the whole weekend. So I've been guzzling water like crazy, and maybe in another week my voice will be 100% back to normal. All right. As I cough there. It's like Carolyn's going to go back and catch up a little bit. So Pat, you can find the recordings at simplescrapper.com/10. That's the same place that you signed up for the anniversary party. It's linked from our homepage. I'll be changing the wording tomorrow to say watch the recordings, and you'll be able to do that through the end of November because each file is about 1 gig each. So at the end of the month, we will be deleting all of these recordings just because we can't keep them all forever. So, all right, folks, let's do my screen share here, and let's look at some logos. All right, so I ordered them here by date. We have from January of 2009, because I'm pretty sure when I started, I did not have a logo at all. It was like a basic blog with some sort of, you know, I typed Simple Scrapper. The first logo was January in 2019, and then the last one looks like this one I created in May of last year. So, all right, here's the first one. Is that big enough for you guys? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen some nods. Okay, so we've got the nice little button embellishment with a tagline of no fuss digital scrapbooking for busy memory keepers. Because Simple Scrapper did start as this was going to be a digital website, and I thought that was the solution for Simple. But it just turned out to be one of the solutions. It is the solution for many scrapbookers, but for just as many, it's not. And it doesn't provide that sense of ease and creative fulfillment the same way that paper does. And for others, it's the only way they can get anything done and the only way they can find their own sense of freedom and flexibility. At the very same time, if you guys remember the Daily Digi, that started the exact same time as Simple Scrapper. And so I think over the years, especially in those first 3 years, I really wanted to find my voice of how are we different? Because we were talking about a lot of the same things, and I think that's where I really found my stride in trying to make sure I'm serving scrapbookers in ways that can really make their hobbies work well for them. And you'll see that come out in the language as we keep going here. So this one was just a change of digital embellishments there in the middle. We got from a button to a little flower button ribbon cluster thing. And then we did all typing here. We've got Simple Scrapper, scrapbooking for busy memory keepers. So this was in 2010. So really within that first year and a half, I started to de-emphasize digital only because I saw there was so much opportunity to serve every type of scrapbooker. Here's one of my very favorite logos. I remember working so hard on trying to get this perfect bee logo here. So again, scrapbooking for busy memory keepers, and we had that bee icon for quite a while. And then we kind of made a transition here. So that went from 2010 to 2013, and I think I had the bee for quite a while. In 2013, there was definitely more of an emphasis on time management. So save time, scrapbook more. I released a lot of guides related to simple time management for scrapbookers. We had like 101 tips to save time or to find more time for scrapbooking. And so that was really the emphasis in that time period. Then this is actually this went from January of 2013 to the end. I think towards the end of that year, I was trying to maybe refine the messaging a little bit, and so we have a tagline of create space and focus on what matters most. So I think that kind of marked the shift, maybe going a little bit more introspective, getting you guys to think and talk and share and really reflect. And I feel like that was a really important moment, because when I talk to you guys about why you like Simple Scrapper, you like that I prod you to go beneath the surface, to really think about what works best for you and why that is, and how you can support yourself in doing more of that. Okay, now we go, this is 2014. That actually was only a month later, so maybe I was fickle at that point. So we were focusing on what matters most since 2008. Definitely a continuation of that what matters most theme. And then we've got, this is mid-2014 here, navigation for easier memory keeping. I don't think I kept this one very long. Yeah, the next one is in August, but it still kind of went with that navigation theme. And the next one was guidance for uncomplicated memory keeping. And that's when we really introduced the arrow symbolism, because I always felt like that was symbolic of the way we always look back in order to look forward. And we've talked about that throughout this this weekend, and you'll see that again in our questions, that we always have to use the past to inform our next steps. And so whenever you see those different triangles and those arrows, that's how I'm thinking about it. And it's also, you know, it's a navigational symbol, and it's just kind of evolved to really reflect what we do here. So then we have the next iteration of that. This is where I really kind of double down on this blue color, because I really feel like this blue is such a tranquil, peaceful, trusting color, where I want you to feel like this is a place for you that's smart and thoughtful and welcoming, and not too out there, yet not too squishy and woo-woo either. We kind of have a delicate balance between being fun and practical and thoughtful and expressing ourselves and being free, and also trying to plan things out so that life's a little bit easier. And then finally, we have what the logo is on the website today. And obviously there's a lot more minimalism now than there was back then. So it's so interesting to see how things have changed over the years. And I just feel so lucky to be here with you guys, and just so happy to see that we can, just like we've evolved over time, all of you have evolved over the past decade. We talked about that on Friday night's evolution of scrapbooking crop, that we're always changing and growing and evolving, and I'm committed to having Simple Scrapper do that as you change, as the industry changes, and of course as technology, as fast as it's changing, is informing how we're going to be memory keepers in the future. All right, that was the logos. A little bit trip back in time there. Okay, who is ready for a giveaway? Yay. Okay, so excuse me here. It's important to follow the rules. I'm going to select a random number. You may only enter the giveaway once. Once I paste the instructions in the chat box, you may enter the giveaway. And again, you may only enter once, and you're going to do that in the chat box. So I'll give you just a moment to find that chat box and bring it up. Ooh, I have a good number here. And I'm going to paste those instructions. You're going to pick a number between 1 and 100. You can only enter once, and the first person to get it without going over is the winner. Okay. Anybody else want to enter here? Last chance to enter the giveaway. Let's see if we get a number. Okay, last call. All right. We have no winners. The lowest number selected was 10. So Enter a number between 1 and 9, and whoever gets it first is the winner. Oh my gosh, okay, very fast. I can't read this. Okay, Shannon Fowler is the winner. The number was 3.
Ah.
All right, congratulations, Shannon. If you could email me, Jennifer@simplescrapper.com, I will get you connected with your prize. Thanks, guys. All right. That was fun, and that's also a first. Okay, let's get into our prompts here. All right, you might want to pull out a piece of paper if you want, or you can just talk aloud, type it in the chat box, share with me. We've got 4 questions here, and there's like 3 that are questions, and one's more of like a, you need to write this stuff out. So I think I do recommend a piece of paper here. It might help you a lot. So the first question is, what is one thing that you tried this year that worked really well, and why do you think that is? What is one thing you tried this year that worked really well, and why? And in a second here, I'll maybe ask some folks if they want to share what worked well for them. I'll kick it off, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about that 6x8, because you guys have seen me do almost all the pages that I did this weekend have been 6x8 because I love this size. It fits on my desk. The album fits on my desk. It's easy to do, yet there's still enough real estate that I can get a 4x6 photo on there. It's I would say this year is the most success that I've ever had kind of keeping up with scrapbooking a year. And I don't necessarily set that as a goal, but it feels nice. It feels nice to feel like I've got this year under control, and I've never felt that with another size in the past. I've never felt that when I focused more on pocket pages, and I've definitely never felt that with doing 8.5 by 11, 9 by 12, or 12 by 12 albums. So for me, there's something about 6x8 that's a little bit magical.
I have an answer.
All right, can't wait to hear.
Project Life. I started using that towards Christmas, and I used it first as a template to take into my program, but I find that it really does work, even though I say it doesn't. It works for me, especially when it's on the fly or you're not home or something. So then the fact that I can assimilate it back into another program that will allow me to flesh it out a bit, I really like how that works. And
you're talking specifically of the Project Life app, correct?
On the phone, yeah, and the iPad, yeah.
Okay.
They just need more free journal cards.
They also need a better organization system for the kits. Yeah. Because I find it really difficult to, I'm trying to pick the next one I want to buy, and I feel like I keep having to scroll through again and again.
Right, and then you forget you already have that one, and then you got to start all over again. So that was my big thing this year. Oh, wait, yesterday Kim did the hybrid layouts and told me so many things that I didn't know that I might actually use PSE now with everything.
Wow.
Yeah, you know how I feel about PSE, because I couldn't figure out what was going on with it, and I never had anyone to tell me how things worked. Mm-hmm. So yesterday really was an eye-opener, so I was really grateful for that. So
I'm so glad that session was helpful.
Yep,
I keep hearing that again and again. I saw nods when you said that as well. So
yeah, good. So I'm done now.
Thank you, Patricia. So we have Caroline says that she's loving bullet journaling. Tiffany is loving resetting every season. Fran has learned how to use her Cricut more. Darlene's done traveler's notebooks. Pat has done doing her layouts in pieces, like letting it marinate over time. Sheena's leveraged Lightroom this year. Tara has used the Simple Scrapper crops to get herself back into scrapbooking. Ooh, so many good answers here. Dion participated in Load, the Layout a Day project, which happens 4 times a year. She loved the accountability with that. Terry also loved trying 6x8. Caroline enjoyed doing morning pages as part of our Artist Way study group. Carmel was doing a full Project Life 12x12 album. Honoré likes doing 6x whatever pages. The Zoom crops, load and refresh. Nikki is pre-planning her mini album December Daily with thumbnail sketches. I hope that continues to work well, or maybe you did that earlier in the year. And then, of course, the Before Your Story class helped Trish delve into her growing up years. All right. Thank you guys for sharing. I love hearing how you're all focused on something a little bit different. And that's what this is all about. We're all not going to be doing the same thing. We're not going to have the same interests at the same time. But there's always going to be someone else, at least one other person, who has that same interest in you. And that's what a community is all about, is being able to connect those people who are either in physical proximity or emotional proximity or, scrapbooking format proximity and all of that. So, all right. So in contrast to this question, what is one thing you tried this year that did not work well, and why do you think that is? So for me, I have several things. I have a bad habit of in January, I'm going to start all of these life practices to make my life just amazing, and everything's going to be perfectly structured and organized and well documented, and I'm going to celebrate gratitude, and you can't add that many things at once. And this year I was probably my worst case study of myself and trying to do too much. And one of the things that I tried was to do the memory planner with the Me and My Big Ideas album. And I got through like a couple weeks. And I really liked the weeks that I had, but I found it very difficult to keep up with. I don't know why. I am not a big journaler by hand. I can see someone who's always a scribbler and a journaler loving this and filling it up. I know I've heard of moms who just use a regular calendar and journaled every day of the year for their baby's first year, and that's a beautiful idea. It's not something that's ever really worked well for me. So this one is just, I should have realized that, and should have realized that something that's so daily is not going to work well for me, whereas something like my 6x8 album here is not daily. It's something that I can pop into at my convenience and keep adding to. It's like that, the quote that I always share about, we should look at our scrapbooks as treasure chests waiting for the gifts that we can add to them. And that's how I look at my scrapbooking, is that every gift that I can add to it is one more piece of gold that I can add to my stash. And that's not as important to me that is much more important to me than doing something daily. Even though that can work for some people, it doesn't really work for me. So there's that thing. We all have lots of failures. So I'd love to hear what else didn't work for you. Pat says daytime scrapping didn't happen. Tiffany got a new computer and couldn't quite figure out her new photo management process. Audrey says the weekly project life didn't work for her, and she stopped it and finally went back to monthly, and that worked well for her. So I love the idea of the course correction. That just because we stop something doesn't mean we can't learn from doing that experience and trying it and pivot to figure out a better way to still make use of the products you have, or to just change it so that you can actually finish, even if the end result looks a little bit different than what you started out with. Terry started too many projects at once. Natalie tried to dive into tagging, and that didn't work. Tagging is hard and certainly a big commitment. Fran had time taking one day just for me to scrapbook. Is that right, Fran? You've been here all weekend. So is this your first success? She's got one success under her belt. That's awesome. Nikki also doesn't last long using paper planners and daily goals. Honoré tries to do stuff in the evening, but she's really a morning person and needs to continue honoring that part and figuring out how that's going to work for her. Carol Ann's morning pages didn't work. So morning pages is a practice essentially prescribed by Julia Cameron, author of The Artist's Way, and we've been practicing that this year. I have had ups and downs, but like those daily things, it's hard for me. I certainly enjoy it when I do it, and I have found that the times when I'm feeling blocked creatively or just like emotionally frustrated, I got a lot on my mind, that is such a therapeutic exercise to clear my head. Bonnie says that she travels a lot and never seems to bring the supplies that she wants. So that's something that we can certainly work on and try to tweak your setup. Also maybe adjust the type of expectations you have for what you want to create, and know that travel is not just about, I don't know if you're traveling to crops or trying to travel your journal, document your travels on the fly, but there's certainly ways we can adjust that. So many good ideas. Anybody want to share out loud here about one thing that didn't work well and why you think that might be? So Lois said, what is the 6x8 format? So, you know, the traditional scrapbook size is 12 by 12. That's the traditional size album. You also, I would say also 8.5 by 11 was probably the traditional size before 12 by 12 was the traditional size. Those are the two most common sizes of cardstock you're going to be able to buy. But in the past, I would say 5 years or so, there's been quite a bit of interest in 6x8 scrapbooking, but it's primarily been pocket pages. So we've got, just to share the example here, so this one is a pocket page. So we've got 2 3x4 pockets and 1 4x6, and there's several different configurations here, and Project Life is the most popular brand of this, and a lot of people do this for their December daily projects, or they do that for their everyday scrapbooking, their Project Life album for the year. All pocket pages has never worked well for me, so this year I've been doing 6x8 layouts, and oh, I just found one more layout that I created this weekend. And for some reason, this size works well, and it's all very compact and tidy in my little album here. So it's just another option. There are a number of 6x8 albums you can buy. Simple Stories has some. Mine is from Allie Edwards. So Becky Higgins has some of her own. It's not quite as much of a mainstream size, but you can't find it almost everywhere nowadays. Natalie said she had difficulty prioritizing her projects, and I think that's a great segue into the next question here. Okay, so this is where you really do need your pencil and paper. I want you to draw a grid, a 3x4 grid, so 12 boxes, one for each month of the year. I'll give you some time here. Pulling out that layout to add to my stack of things I did this weekend, so I forgot that I put it away. All right, so you're going to label these every month of the year, January through December. This is for 2019. And we're doing this exercise because I want you to see how much is already on your calendar before the year even starts, both in terms of your life and your creative life. And there's no right or wrong answers here. Some of you are going to have a lot of things listed, and some of you might not have any. But the idea here is to give you an indication of how much space you have for what you call your everyday scrapbooking. So that's whether you're documenting 2019 memories or memories from the past. So the first thing I want you to do in these boxes is to add any big life stuff you know is going to happen next year. Such as if you are a teacher and you have the summer off, that's a big transition. You know there's a major wedding going on in your family. You know there's a big trip that you're going to take. You know that the holiday season is such a blur because you've got so many fun family obligations that you don't have a lot of time then. So what life things you know are going to be on your calendar next year, whether it's recurring or one-time special for 2019?
That's terrible. Okay, so we're good.
And when you're done, if you could, somewhere in your interface should be a raise hand button. If you could raise your hand virtually via the button, that will help me know that you're ready to move on.
Let's see. Virtual hand, huh?
And I don't see the button myself because I'm your host. So, oh, I see some hands. Shannon, Christopher, Honore, Lois, Carol Ann, Carrie, Trish. So it's like we're getting about there. I'm going through some of these old photos. These are so cute. There's so many photos of baby Emily in here. Oh, that's a good shot.
Did you guys lose anything?
Lose anything? What do you mean, Trish?
My video's gone.
I don't see a raised hand button. Can anybody tell me what it's by?
I don't
What I
see
did is
it
clicked
either.
on
It's under
and
participants.
then it popped up above the group chat area.
It's going to be different depending on your computer and your device, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I'm close enough to done. Count me in.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks.
Carol, for me, if you click on, oh, I don't have my video on.
Okay,
If you,
it looks like we got
click on
most of the hands.
participants on the right-hand side, at least for me, it's listing all my participants. And you can click raise hand or mute me, if that's helpful.
Okay. I think we're at a point now it's okay to go on. I see at least 50% of the hands raised. It's also a good practice exercise in figuring out how to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and lower all the hands. We can try again another time. All right. Okay. So we've added your life stuff. Now what you're going to do is add any seasonal creative activities that you know you're going to participate in. And so I have some examples here, and if you have other examples, I'd love to hear them. We've got kind of the Ellie Edwards suite of things: December Daily, One Little Word, Week in the Life, Day in the Life. We've got Kathy Zielski's 30 Days of Thankful. We've got the 30 Days of List Project, the 100-Day Project. We've got Simple Scrapper Refresh Retreats in January, April, July, and October. And I think I'm going to end up typing all these in the chat box just to help you guys. We've got Layout a Day. And if you want to do any kind of like summer specific project. So I'll type these out for you guys just as examples. And if you have more, I'll add them to the list.
When are the refresh days, months? Does that start in January?
January, April, July, October.
Okay.
And because I'm newer to 30 Days of Lists, I know September and December, but does anybody know any of the other months? There must be one other one, at least.
March, April,
March. Yeah.
March.
I think March sounds about right, yeah.
Thank you.
Print screen that.
So all these projects, they're all so fun. They're all very community focused because you can connect with others who are doing the same things, but they take time, and often they take attention away from other things that you would be working on. And so I don't want to discourage you from doing these things. I want you to be honest with yourself about what's realistic in the year and what things that you love the most. And so you can pick and choose. Maybe you won't do day in the life, but what you will do week in the life, because it's all about kind of getting this bird's eye perspective on how you want your hobby to look and making sure you're making really smart choices so that you don't get overwhelmed, you don't feel behind, and that you're always having fun.
When is the load? When February, May, and October?
Load is February, May, October, and then the 1 week in August.
Thank you.
No worries.
Do we know when the week in the life and the day in the life and the...
We don't, and Allie hasn't been announcing those in advance because of the product schedules. I think they're waiting to make sure they have the products in, and then she sets the dates, sells the products, and so they would have enough window. And because of that, I think they were having trouble with getting products to people internationally in time, so they're kind of letting the product schedule dictate the event schedule.
The other thing about those two events is that you can do them anytime you want to. They're
Very
not
true.
dependent on the product. If you want the product, then you could wait for it, but
True.
And I forgot to type in 100-day project, even though I did say that orally.
I don't remember when we started it.
usually
April.
in May
It was
starts.
April.
Was it April?
Yeah,
thought
it
it
was April until July.
Oh, okay.
I thought, okay.
Which one was that?
The 100-day project.
Okay, thank you.
Jennifer, are there any more proposed dates, or Kim if she's on, for like a 9 on the 9th or anything from Simple Scrapper, like a challenge like that?
So fun.
We don't have dates for that yet. I do know that we are talking about doing theme weeks in non-refresh months, roughly alternating between a Photo Crush week and a Stash Bash week. So basically in non-refresh months, we'll have 1 week a month where you're focusing on either photo organization or supply organization.
Okay. And has there been any talk or anything sort of concrete as far as the Simple Scrapper retreat for next year would go?
There has not yet.
Okay.
I'll just share that I have 2 friends that we've rented a hotel here in St. Louis. Excuse me. Rented a room, and we're going to retreat at the same time. And
Oh, really?
And plug in when you're going to broadcast. So I'm excited, even though I can't go to the one with everybody. We're still.
Well, it's not everybody. There were only 12 spots, so it was the first one. So. But that's so awesome to hear that there's satellite crops going on at the same time, and we can all Zoom together with our different groups. And so that's going to be a big, that'll be a big public thing in December. So, all right.
I now know why. Oops, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I don't know what I was going to say.
I now know why I'm insane in April.
That's exactly why I want you to do this exercise.
It couldn't be because you have taxes to pay.
Oh God, I forgot to put that in here.
I'm trying to forget.
No wonder. I mean, seriously, I've always wondered why I love spring, but why I lose my mind in April and May. Now I know.
Yep.
Thanks.
Well, and I think, even, you might even add family birthdays on that, particularly if you do a lot for family birthdays. I know we have a lot of birthdays, like bang, 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 right in a row. And then during the summer, it feels like all of my daughter's friends have summer birthdays. And so every weekend we're going to a birthday party, which means, we often have to choose between doing something out of town for us or going to a birthday party. So that definitely impacts our memory making as well.
I know that May is National Scrapbook Day, so sometimes that's a big deal, sometimes it's not, but usually for that weekend at least, it's something fun is going on somewhere.
Correct.
What is in May? I didn't hear.
It's the first weekend in May is National Scrapbook Day.
Oh, right.
It's usually like the 4th or the 5th, something like that.
And didn't the Scrap Gals announce that their one retreat next year is going to be that weekend? I don't subscribe to the podcast, so I don't know, but that's what I heard.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
do
what they're
Scrapbook
looking at.
now.
Yes, that's correct. It's going to be that weekend.
All right. Okay. So I think we've got this covered. So now you have your life stuff. You've got these seasonal creative activities, and this is kind of your template calendar for next year. And now I want you to think about, so with what format or size do you intend to focus the scrapbooking of your 2019 memories? It could be a continuation of things you've always done. It could be something different. But with all of this in mind, and I want you to think about how you might want to scrapbook next year, because these are new memories, these are new photos coming in, and how's that going to fit into how you approach these different things? For example, let's say you do like to do a lot of different projects that end up being project life, pocket page focus. And so you're doing those throughout the year. Is that how you want to continue scrapbooking? Otherwise, is that just the right amount of pockets for you, or is it too much? And so, so like me, I sometimes change my sizes. I'm definitely continuing with 6x8 next year because it's worked so well. But you may want to maybe try more digital, or you want to do an all photo book next year, or you want to mix and match pocket pages and layouts in the same album. So just to have a general idea, even if it's continue the same thing, how is it that I'm going to document my 2019 memories?
I do 8x8s, and it'll probably be a combination of Pocket Life and traditional type of layouts, but digital.
And do you do one album for the year, or do you organize by Library of Memories categories? Both?
Good question. Yeah, probably both. I'll do the year that, like what happened in January, February, and do that. I did something like that for my mother-in-law, and I really liked how that worked. Did I do any more? Well, no, but I want to do them because it's quick, or what you call quick and dirty, and do it. And then if you want to adjust it later as a digital, you're able to do that easily.
Certainly.
I think that's what I think I'm going to stick with the 8x8s. They're not too bulky. They're not too small. They're not. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I can see, just because the 6x8 works so well, I don't think I've ever done a paper 8x8 layout, but that could be fun and a fun way
That's all I've ever
approach
done.
the year.
No, I did about 4 12x12s when I first started with Creative Memories, and after that I flipped to the smaller size. So
Yeah, it's so big.
I
yeah,
actually like the 8x8 best,
yeah, I do.
but you don't find albums anymore for them.
No.
Not a lot. Last Christmas, or was it the Christmas before, Joann's had a sale of buy one get one at Christmas time. So watch Joann's and Michael's.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's a nice price. Buy one get one.
I really like the We Are Memory Keepers linen 8x8 albums. Those kind of weird gray-green ones you see behind me, and I also have a one that's a light blue as well. It's hiding down below. And I have a yellow one too, I think. But though, I like the texture, and they just seem really high quality.
I have one of the aqua ones. I'll
Where's
trade
that
you for your yellow.
Where is that from? Where are those?
They're all We Are Memory Keepers.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
We Are Memory Keepers brand.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay, as I'm talking to you guys, there's kind of, I feel like there's an elephant in the room now, and that's all the projects you haven't finished. So that if you want to take away kind of some homework here, that would be a good question 5. Or what are the things that you've started but not finished that you might want to work on next year? And how does that impact the suite of things that you're going to pick for the future? You don't have, and the thing about doing this now in November is that you don't have to make any decisions now, but it gives you time to think about it, maybe experiment with some new formats, try some fun new things, and really until it becomes really clear. And I find that if I'm feeling stuck on something, I have to give myself permission to just sit with it, and then at some point I'll be like, oh yes, that is the path, that is the way to go, and that's how I want to approach it. A few years ago when I started I was trying to figure out how to bring Project Life into my system. So for several years, I did pocket pages inside my regular annual album, and I divided each album with the Library of Memories categories. All about us, people we love, things we do, and whatever the 4th category is, it's not coming to my head right now. And I have physical dividers in those albums, and I love doing it that way. This year, it doesn't really make sense for my 6x8. I'm actually placing my layouts chronologically because I've dated every one, and I feel like it's really fun. I'm not trying to be complete in a year. I'm trying to scrapbook what I can and what feels inspiring. But I like that they're in order. It feels fun for the year. In the future, I may go back to doing something else. But I had to spend time marinating on that Project Life problem and how I was going to have it work well for me. And it's always been, I have to do layouts too. I can't just do Project Life. All right. So thank you, Alice, for being here. She's heading off right now. Terry's going to work on Project Life and 6x8. Jackie does paper, digital, mix of paper and pocket pages in different sizes, and she decides according to the project. I love that. I love that we have so many options. Shannon wants to work on her travel albums because she's taken some early awesome trips, and she wants to get those memories done. So it's important to really think about those priorities. When you have this all laid out here, excuse me, things going on in your life, like maybe you have a big home renovation coming up. That's going to take a lot of your time. When you have what's going on in your life, the creative community things you're going to want to jump into, the approaches you want to take for 2019, and then all those little things that maybe aren't finished, like travel projects, you have this lay of the land that you get to pick and choose from and figure out what's going to be a priority and how you're going to go about it. All right, so I hope that was helpful. We'll have these types of questions in much more detail in our new workbook coming out in early mid-December, and I'm excited to share that. And let's get into some scrapbooking here. I'm trying to pick a photo right now. I think I have it narrowed down to, I have this photo of all these girls in pink on Easter. That is Emily a long time ago, and these are her cousins. And we just have this Easter egg hunt tradition thing, and so I thought that might be a fun one to scrapbook. I also have this one that's kind of a sillier story, but I have 2 photos. I have Emily pretending to use an emery board and nail clippers to do her toenails. And the reason this is so hilarious is she does not like anybody touching her fingernails, like ever. And every time my mom, except my mom, every time my mom visits, she lets her trim her fingernails. Because when I try to do it, I get the fussiest, like you think she's 3 instead of 7. So she just throws a fit and will not let me touch her. But she lets my mom do it. And so this is kind of a funny story of Emily and her fingernails, because they're always just jagged and too long or too short, just a mess. because she won't let anybody touch them, and she's not going to do them herself either. So one of these, I think, is the story. I have this whole stack of photos from Persnickety Prints. I don't know about Scrapbooking and Ex-Girlfriend because they're not together anymore. Figure out what else we've got in here. Got lots of really cute Emily doing markers. Emily playing with her daddy's head. And he's got so much more hair there. And I know he's still quite bald, but in comparison, he's got a lot more. There's several photos here, like this one, that I've actually already scrapbooked, so I don't know how that quite happened. We've got Through the Snow Tunnel, but I think I've scrapbooked that one too. And this one's just a really cute picture of Emily, but I've scrapbooked this one too. I have that layout that has all the circles on it, and that's the photo I use. I know that. So, this one I've scrapbooked as well. So that's very interesting. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but I think when you end up printing in bulk, that's the downside of it, is you can find that yourself repeating yourself. Because I probably ended up printing those on my own on the fly, and didn't realize that I'd had them printed in a larger batch elsewhere. All right, so let's switch the camera here. I'm going to keep these photos out for now. This is definitely going to be a design-driven layout. I'm just trying to have fun with products. And then as it comes together, we'll pick whether or not we want to do the one photo or the two photo, and then go on with title and stuff, and maybe pick some more embellishments. But it's pretty clear overall. We're going to go the pink direction regardless, so I think both of these will be fine. And so yeah, as we move into our second hour here, let's get crafty again. All right. Lindsay said, Grandma can get away with everything. That is so true. All right, so we've got this baby blush pink cardstock. I don't even know what color this is. It is definitely not white, and it is only a hint of pink. It's textured. And then we're going to pick some pattern papers. I thought about doing like just a 4x4 grid, but that wasn't going to let me use enough papers. So I thought it would be more fun to then actually trim these down so I could use more patterns. So I think I like that one better. Blue. Another blue. So hopefully I have 9 different patterns here. This one, we've got butterflies. And then we do have more than 9. We just have to pick between, we're going to do cameras or another floral. I think the camera changes things up really nice. I like that, but I'm going to trim these down, or should I just cover the entire background? I don't know about that. So yeah, we're going to trim these down to smaller squares and do a fun grid thing. I can use my smaller trimmer here. What I'm actually going to do real quick is I'm going to take a picture. I like this orientation of my patterns, but I know they're going to get all messed up. So now I've got the picture. I will often do that if I'm doing a layout in progress, is that I will take a picture so that I can clear it off and start fresh, whether I'm doing the adhesive stage or something else. So I think I'm just going to do these all 3x3 instead of 4x4. And these are all, I believe this is a Maggie Holmes collection. The one, I think from spring last year. So yesterday I ended up working with, you can only see some of them here, but I think this was the Maggie Holmes collection that was from spring of 2018. And I love her florals, feminine touches. That's the kind of style that I tend to go for. I'm gonna actually cut this way. I didn't want to chop off too much of that butterfly. So yeah, I can see if we can figure out here. American Crafts. I'll see if we can figure out exactly what lines these are both called. Brand. All right. Okay, so this one I'm looking at right now, it's not what I thought it was. Hold on a second. I don't know. I thought it was Maggie Holmes Bloom, but it's not. It might be something else. Unless the 12 by 12 papers were different than the 6 by 6. Huh. I don't know. Maybe somebody, an intrepid Googler there can help me out. I'm not able to come up with it while I'm trimming papers. I'm actually feeling a little bit of a craving here to actually use colored cardstock as mats behind these pattern papers. I never use colored cardstock. All right. We've got quite a little fun selection of scraps now. Okay, we've got a bunch of squares. I'm going to bring up that photo. So I know how to lay them out. All right, those aren't perfect at the moment. We're just kind of getting the lay of the land here. I think I want some dimension here, so I think I might want to do a colored cardstock. I wonder if I have like a pink in there. Ooh, this is nice. This pink is very nice. I think I'm gonna do that. So if these are 3 by 3, maybe we'll do 3 and let me figure that out. 3 1/4 be enough. I think 3 1/4 will be enough. All right. Got one strip. I can tell I have this boom arm here for my thing, and I need to adjust it because it's sagging. It needs to be up here. That would be level. This is not level. So unfortunately I cannot do anything about it tonight, but we're gonna need to work on that. Okay. This is going to be the pink layout. All right, so let's see, because you guys are very, very polite and quiet right now. What has been the best part of this whole weekend? You know, essentially it has turned out to be quite just the online retreat. You know, this is the biggest thing we've ever done. I can see doing something like this again. Hopefully my voice is in better shape to do 9 hours, but I'm curious what parts you liked the best.
Just the inspiration to keep on making things, I think.
I like that.
Penny's December daily stuff was wild. It was great.
Oh, cool. I'm so glad.
Oh, the collection, by the way, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if we were looking for Maggie Holmes, is Chasing Dreams.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I liked every last minute of it, and I think I participated in everything.
Good for you. That's so awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. It might not have made the 3 o'clock morning ones, but
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun though.
I bet it was. But
I should have just stayed up. In these after these evening crops, I've been so wired I couldn't go to sleep, so I actually stayed up till 2 last night. I should have just stayed up till 3.
yeah.
Hey, maybe I'll get wild here and ink the edges.
Ooh.
I started doing that, and I do it all the time now.
Because I'm feeling this isn't out of my comfort zone. This is very I'm doing traditional. This is very traditional here. But I think this pink is going to kind of bring this together really well. All right. One more. Okay. So do I ink it with black? Is that what should I do this at all? I'm not even, this is a new thing for me. Every time I've done it in the past, I haven't liked it, but I'm willing to try anything once.
I actually like just the pink the way it is. I personally wouldn't ink it, but
okay.
You didn't want to ink when I tried to tell you to ink.
I'm just trying to be experimental now. We're just sometimes you just gotta play, and this wasn't a story. I didn't wake up thinking, oh, I have to tell this story today. No, I just want to make a scrapbook page and try some different things. And we've certainly tried some different things this weekend. So
yes.
I'm just kind of eyeballing, center here, and eventually I want to pick a point and say that's it, and we're gonna get this grid down. I'm leaning more towards the Easter photo. I think I might, because I didn't put borders on it, I think I might mount it on white. Again, going very old school. And I'm definitely going to pop dot it. We're going to need some embellishments. We're going to need some, maybe like journaling little pieces, maybe. Yeah, but let's get this background down so that we are committed. And we're going to hope that everything is straight, and that's just the way it's going to be. We're going to build from there. So the pink bottoms, Sharon's asking the dimensions. The pattern papers are 3x3, and the backing cardstock is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I have done so much scrapbooking this weekend, I think I'm going to have to place an order for adhesive.
Yeah.
Running a little low. As long as we can get through this page, we'll be good. And I do have a mini snail. I just don't ever use it because I find this stuff, even if your piece is smaller, it just works really well, but I never reach for the mini ones. So I probably wouldn't buy that again. All right, okay. We have so many opportunities here for using like some giant chipboard pieces maybe. Of course, none of these sentiments actually, I don't know if past and present really fits with that. I guess I could maybe tell the story of just, this is one photo of one Easter, but I'm just going to talk about our Easter traditions. So maybe that can Maybe, you know, I don't know. If I don't find the right journaling cards, maybe I pair it with a 6x8 piece. I definitely have lots of pattern paper left. So I could do like a 6x8 or even 6x12 or even a 3x12 companion journaling thing. Ooh, we could do just remember this instead, maybe. There's always some pinks. I think the remember this fits a little bit better. All right, we need to find white cardstock. Gonna mount my photo here. Ooh. Well, that's where it's gonna stick. That was a little much. Very nice. That just makes it pop a little bit more. We're actually gonna get actual pop dots here. So I think photo is definitely going there. I need to figure out title. Title, maybe sorry, you guys can't see that. I'm way over here. Title, maybe somewhere in this region. Maybe some more embellishments. I'm just going to commit and stick the photo down. So you guys are mentioning traveler's notebooks. I'm curious, is there anything that you wrote down that you want to try for the first time next year? I actually have some stuff pulled. I want to do a traveler's notebook. I've never done it before. I've certainly done mini albums in a bound book before, but I'm curious to try that, not for my everyday, but for a specific project. So I'm curious what you guys are interested in trying next year. Or trying soon, so it doesn't have to be necessarily be for next year. Oh, I think that needs some, yeah. Bigger photo needed some more support there. Yeah, that's a little better. All right, I feel good about this. We'll just stick this down. That one. Die cut pieces are probably in order here. Oh dear. One of those Ziploc baggies was not closed. So that didn't work well, but this collection here is kind of popping out at me. A bird, graveside, school. Got butterfly. Oh, we got a little bunny. There we go. That's a bunny is perfectly appropriate for Easter here. So a little journaling thing there. I don't know yet. Let's I'm liking those butterflies there. This is a cute little we've got another little butterfly. Very cute. I might need to go ahead and do a title here before I commit to more. I think I want to put the butterflies down. I'm digging those. Or is that the other way? Hold off on that for a second. I wonder if I have a die cut piece. Let's go to these right here. Okay. Let's see what these say and if we can have anything that goes. Oh my God, they're all tangled up. Best ever dream. I don't know. Smile. I mean, that's nice, but it doesn't, I don't think I can really make a title out of it. Smile, it's Easter. I don't know. That's, no, okay. Let's try this batch. Document, together. Love this moment. Remember this. We could do Easter details. Do Easter in the bigger letters here than the details. Or we could do document Easter. Easter together. I think Easter together, I think fits well here. All right, put that aside. Now we need some letter stickers. What color are we looking for here? Black, white. Definitely large is the answer. No.
Yellow could be pretty.
What about these?
Ooh, I like those.
I mean, the colors all go. I don't know if I have enough letters, so let's check that out. Because that requires 2 E's. And so are there going to be 2 E's in this? Highly doubtful. There's 1 E. Yeah, no. So that's not going to work. Should have bought 2 sets of that one. What about this? I got these. Those are a little, I don't like the roundedness really. also have it in this white and gold one. But I'm almost certain there was only one of each letter, so I can't do in 2E's on that either. So I can see the limiting factor here.
I've been working on my own page, so I haven't been looking at the screen, and I just turned around and I'm like, wow, that's so cute.
All right, so we've got, and I don't know this E status on all these yet. We've got brown, like wood grain. I don't think it's bad, but there isn't. The only thing that would connect to is that there is a lot of brown in the photo. So that's a possibility. We've got this black skinny one. This doesn't I don't think it's big enough. And then I've got these, which are sparkly, and there are 0 E's. So, yeah, not using that one. It is looking like the brown, I think, is going to win here, this wood grain. I think it's going to be fine. Okay. Over here. T. All right. So we have Easter together. I like that. I like how that turned out. Move this down. Okay, so we've got that going. What else here? I think there's this set actually has a number of little journaling boxes. We could do like something like that. It's not really, I don't know that I want to do that. I might just add one of these for the date and still do like a separate, maybe even right there. I can do the date stamp and do a separate journaling on this one because this is just such a more of a bigger layout. I'm almost not even liking this. I don't think I can pull that up at this point. This almost seems out of place to me now. It's not coming up. All right. What else do you guys think it needs? Need to do more like underneath, maybe. Get some enamel dots out. That's always a good place to go. think we'll just do this kind of pink. All right, we're going to use the butterflies as a nice visual triangle there. Kind of want to build these up some more though. Blue does not go. This heart might go on there nicely. Maybe I need some I need some word art. That's what I need. Like here we got, okay, so we're gonna try and find something. We have some black and some yellow and some teal. I know we can come up with something there. What happened to the bunny? Where did the bunny go? All right, here's the bunny. We will make sure the bunny has a home because I think obviously the bunny is, you know, thematically correct here. Ooh, maybe the bunny goes in here related to the date. That's cute. I think I like that. Punching out these little tiny holes here in this die cut piece. Sometimes I wish they came already with the holes out. I want to share one tip briefly while I'm thinking of it here is that throughout this weekend, every single time I made a page, I cleaned up everything before I started again. And that's something that I've done for a long time just because there's so many different packages and it's never fun to put the stuff back in the plastic. Nobody wants to do that. But if you take the time to do it after one page, it won't get to the point of being overwhelming. So I do recommend doing that as much as you can. All right, now let's do some word art. Got crazy good, that fits. Celebrate. That's fine, okay. Maybe yellow here. And the teal. Where I want that teal. Maybe I don't want to use the teal. I kind of see if there's anything on the black one. These are all book themes, so most of them are not really relevant here. Just, I think I like the Stories Are Life one, and I'm gonna add it. It's gonna be underneath this little thing, which I needed here down. I need to commit here with the bunny and what's gonna hold the date. There. All right. The adhesive I use is the Kokuyo dot liner. I've usually bought it from Simon Says Stamp, but I'm actually going to make my next purchase from Amazon. Several folks have said that you can get it there. And I believe you can also buy the refills there, so you're not buying a new whole container every single time. So I just kind of want to find a place for this celebrate. Maybe right here. It kind of connects well without being too contrasty. I don't know if it needs anything else. I think we have a date stamp, and then I'm going to do another journaling strip next to it. Just really probably briefly accented with pattern paper. Maybe add like one of these little flowers or something to it as well. So yeah, I think I'm done. That's I like this. This is really cute. I like this kind of central cluster area. We've got lots of patterns going. Just a real nice kind of classic page. Very repeatable, and you could use this theme again and again in different sizes even and get completely different pages every time. You could easily add more photos to this type of page too. You could have added photos in any of these boxes. So a grid is definitely something I don't always do, but it's definitely a fallback that I always go to. All right. So, okay, let's transition here. I'm gonna like pick up a little bit while we talk. Let's go back to my video. About 25 minutes left here. So here's the finished page. Super cute. Gonna end up, remember, so we're gonna do probably a 3x12 journaling page that will go with it. And then I'll probably just have it be pattern paper on the back and then journaling on one side. So it's just like a nice little insert, and maybe I'll do a little tab on it to indicate, you know, maybe say something about Easter or, you know, the details, maybe something like I'll say, because I want to journal about kind of Easter over time. I don't scrapbook holidays a bunch. And part of that is I just find them a little bit boring and repetitive, especially when we do the same things. But it's nice to do a layout that celebrates that we do the same things and kind of elevate that mundane to it. So I'm curious, super curious to see what you have created throughout the weekend. So if you would like to, how we'll do it is now that you know how to raise your hand, if you could raise your hand virtually, I will call on you and spotlight your video, and you have a chance to share something you make. You can either share it up above, or you can share your screen if you want to share something on your computer. Because we love to see what you guys do. So raise your hand, and I'll call on people one by one. And I try to get some of this stuff cleaned up again, too. All right. Bree is raising her hand. I see a little baby there too. Spotlight video and unmuted. Oh, trying to unmute you. There we go. I think we were counteracting each other.
I wanted to tell you she wanted to smell the flowers on your page, so that's why she came over. So.
Oh, that's very nice.
I don't know, but I am making another. I've been working on Project Life the whole time, and so we're doing some pumpkin patch, some other stuff over here. Got to get that royal baby fever thing going on, and
oh yeah,
I'm pretty obsessed. So yeah, that's what I did while I was watching Kim with her grateful crop, and watching you right here. So a little something.
Love it. I love all the details that you have on your Project Life pages. You fit so much information into each page.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay.
All right. Okay, Laura, raise hand. We're going to spotlight Carol. All right, Carol, your turn.
Sorry. Okay, well, day one, I worked on this. I have to journal.
Uh-huh.
And it's the story about how this dog ate a needle and
Ooh.
survived.
I'm glad.
I am too, because she's my grand dog. And this is Harlequin paper, correct?
Uh-huh.
Am I right about that? And her name is Harley Quinn. So I was excited to find that.
Oh, that's cute. Well, I love that connection.
And then I worked on this yesterday sometime. This is one of my grandkids, and she's always saying something cute that I'm writing down and keeping track of. So this is Emma Isms. And then
I love that title. Very cute.
Keep track of, right on the scrapbook page, some of the funny things that I think she says. And then I worked on this last night. My mom is, I need to start capturing some of the things. She was telling us about her childhood and some of the things that went on during that time period, and I want to do journaling on that. And I'm working on this page right now, just of the dog.
Oh, nice grid. Love that. Cool. Yeah, I need to tell more of those stories from the past, even if I don't have photos with them, just to get them somehow documented while my parents are around to share that with me. So.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
That's a current picture, but we'll have old stories.
Uh-huh. All right, Tara, spotlight you. All right.
Let's see if I can share my screen. So did that work? Do you see?
It does, yeah.
Okay, so this is the scrapbook page I was working on during this crop. And it's about a restaurant we like to go to. So kind of the places we go kind of theme.
I love Fuddruckers. It's so awesome. I love the cheese sauce that you pump out.
Yeah, our favorite thing is to do, like my favorite thing about it is the seasoned fries and the chocolate shake together. And then, yeah.
Sounds pretty yummy. You're making me hungry here. Seems like one of the themes of the weekend is making people hungry. That's super cute. I love the design on that.
It's a template. I love templates.
Awesome. All right. So, Lauren, here we got Jackie next. Let's spotlight Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I've been working on an album it's called my Happy Album. I started last month. So I continued with that and I accomplished quite a few pages. Basically, it's photos of things that make me happy. Can y'all see these? Yeah.
Oh, the beach makes me happy. That's for sure. Love it.
Okay. And let's see. The fall. Oh.
Nice. So is everyone a 2-page spread?
Yes, ma'am. Cool.
What a lovely album.
Thank you. It's been fun. Oh.
Yeah, I love doing a theme album like that. So you really just, Carol just said, I love the concept of this happy album. It's such a fun thing to focus on. You can get a lot of stories told when you really kind of put a container around it. Ooh, love it.
I have quite a few more, but I'll give somebody else a turn.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I've seen a lot of these as well inside of the member community. So I appreciate you sharing there as well.
So how do we share your screen?
So there's a share screen button. On mine, it's in the bottom in the middle. It says share.
Uh-huh. And what's it going to share? What's under you? What's under this page or this screen?
It's going to share whatever's on your computer, except for the Zoom window. It actually will give you a choice of what you can share, like whether it's one application or a different window or.
How about that? Yay, I shared, I think. Did I share?
You did.
Yay! This was Carol Ann she suggested to scrap photos that made us happy this week.
Awesome. I love it.
So we came home from Florida. We saw a beautiful fall tree in Ohio. And then Wednesday morning, we saw this on the way to an appointment, and it didn't do anything. And then we woke up to snow on Friday. So it's a typical Michigan day.
Yeah, all the seasons in one day for sure.
Right. So stop sharing. Okay. Hey, I got it.
You did. Good job. Okay. All right. Who wants to go next? Anybody else want to share? Thank you guys so much for sharing your work. I love it. You can share on your computer. You can hold it up. You can just talk about what you did. If there's nothing physical that you feel like you can share, because I know some of you were organizing and getting stuff going.
And using analysis paralysis to determine what you want on the page.
Oh, yeah. I've done a lot of that this weekend.
Yeah.
But I was able to bust through that with your encouragement of the group to go a particular direction or suggested something that I wasn't going to do, but at least it was a suggestion, something that I could say, at least I'm not doing that. Yeah, and I did one more page than I thought I did. So I actually did 9 pages this weekend, which corresponds, I guess that's roughly 1 page per hour because I was on here live for 9 hours. So that seems about right. I usually don't talk as much when I'm scrapbooking at home, but probably could do a little bit more without talking. But this, of course, it would not be as fun to not be with you guys. And I think that's another reason why the 6x8s works so well, because I can do it here live with you guys within an hour's period. And that's definitely been one of the places I've been doing most of my pages is live with you guys, not necessarily on my own. So the accountability really works and is a really important part of my process as well. All right, guys. Any other final thoughts for this weekend, for what you want to see at Simple Scrapper in the future? Somebody mentioned another in-person crop. Definitely on my radar, trying to figure out locations, times, how that fits into the schedule. Because I love hanging out with you guys, but I also know that so many of you, like me, are introverts, and so whatever I do in the future will always be introvert friendly, and I'm probably never, what was that?
Yay!
I'm never going to do a big thing that has 100 people and a band and lots of commotion, because I want to make you guys cozy and comfortable and chill. And so that's always going to guide my perspective on anything that we do in person. So I take that very seriously, just because I know I want to survive the weekend too. All right, any other final thoughts? We might just adjourn a few minutes early here. This has been so amazing that so many of you have come out. I know that I looked at the stats earlier, and there were, I think, 426 different people who participated over the day yesterday. Fewer on Friday and fewer today, but that's just amazing. Almost 800 total registered. So I'm so honored to be part of this community and participating with you all and trying to celebrate all the different forms of scrapbooking and memory keeping. There's no one right way to be a scrapbooker today. There are no rules, and you get to write your own rules of the hobby and figure out what fills you up and what fits your life. As always, this crop room is going to be open, so if you guys want to keep creating and chatting with each other, you are free to do that. This is the last recording, though, of this session. Again, the recordings will be up through the end of November. And I do want to finally mention, if you are already a member, this is a great time to go ahead and turn that into an annual membership if you're not yet an annual member. Often you can save quite a bit of money in doing that. And if you're not yet a member and you are ready to dive in, this is the best time of year to purchase an annual membership, because so many of our members renew this time of year, so we're all kind of celebrating and remembering together. This is the time to renew. And we're also forming an advisory board for next year. I've always kind of very informally asked the community what the types of things are that we want to do at Simple Scrapper, but we're going to kind of formalize that for the coming year, and our annual members will be part of our advisory board and guiding some of the decisions we make about all the different things we do at Simple Scrapper. So yeah, it's just something to put in your ear if you're not yet a member, or if you are a member and want to convert to an annual membership, you can do that by emailing us at help@simplescrapper.com, and we'll get you all set up. And again, thank you so much for celebrating with me. This has been my honor to be in this community, and I'm so grateful for all of you here live, as well as all of you who are watching in the replay over the next few weeks. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your weekend. And here's to the next 10 years.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you. It's been awesome.
Thanks, Jennifer.